Welcome. It's been a while since I've done an update, and a lot of people always say you should show the good and the bad. Well, I have a lot of bad. About 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, my local fish store had a catastrophic failure and lost everything in their tank. I mean, everything. And they believe it all started with their SPSs. I really haven't bought anything since. I make my own water. But 2-3 weeks after they had the problem, they fixed the problem. And I decided I was going to basically frag a lot of stuff that I had and remove a lot of stuff that was just overgrown. In the process of doing all that, in the last week, I have been losing everything. That, when I say everything, I mean SPSs. I started off by fragging the orange Monty that was right here, that everybody may remember from previous videos. And I mean, I took 7, 8, 9 different plates off it that were, 12 to 15 inches around. No more than a few days after I did that, I don't know if it caused a problem or not. As you can see here, there used to be a huge bird's nest right there, and a huge bird's nest right there. I went ahead and clipped it a bit. Boom, it started bleaching. And it really wasn't bleaching, it just started getting this real nasty, milky film around it. Like the tissue was just flopping off. And I've heard the name, something that people call it, tissue syndrome or something, I don't know. But in the last 3 days, every one of my SPSs have began to do this. The green digi that's there, now gone. Now it was across that whole back wall, and you can see where it started to bleach right there, along with the other coral right next to it starting to more or less bleach. The bird's nest is completely gone. My purple Monty encrusting, it's covered in algae. Just standard algae, nothing gross or anything, but that bleached out. There was a purple Monty encrusting right there, bleached out. There was another one right, I really can't get it. It was down here somewhere, and it was pretty big, part of my main piece. Bleached out. And it's not really bleached out because there's still a lot of purple to it. You can see a little purple. Where's my finger? Right there's a little purple, and I mean the whole Monty covered this whole rock. Just yesterday I started noticing the, oh god, what's it called? Lantana Montipora or something like that. It was, it was 3 big pieces. I mean, you can see it all right there, growing, plating out, plating out, plating out right here, plating out here, just starting to die. And I mean, you can see it right now. It's not, that is not white. The polyps are just going in and staying in, and then dying. The green digi I've had forever, which, I broke 1,000 pieces off it and frag it. Yesterday, a little piece right here started to get that crap around it. It just looks like it's just some nasty film, and when you blow on it with a turkey baster or with your hand, it just falls apart. There's another frag of it over there, which I can see some of the tips starting to do it. I've done a water change once a week, every 7 to 10 days. Maybe a little more than I should be doing, but is more better or worse? I don't know. I've been racking my brain back and forth, what's doing this? Is it because my store had a catastrophic problem and I've been dealing with them still? I waited for the problem to be fixed before I picked up anything. I waited for all their corals that they got in to look good. I tried a different food, which I completely hate. Formula One, Part 1 and Part 2, something like that. It's gel tabs, and you can't break it up and put it in. I'm assuming you just throw the chunks in there, and I wasn't doing that. I was breaking it up. There's so many different things that it could be that you really just can't narrow it down. I've tested my water. Everything tests fine. It all tests exactly the same as the last 2.5, 3 years that I've had a reef tank. Everything is on schedule, right where it needs to be. My A cans, they've been dying for a while. Even when I try target feeding them, they take food, but they slowly just, get a little worse. My brain down here still looks fine. Nothing really wrong with it. All the soft corals look perfect. Mushrooms, zoids. The LPSs look like they're doing fine, other than the A cans. And I've just been racking my brain to, what am I doing different? What am I doing wrong? Why is this happening? When I had my 28-gallon JVJ Nano tank, I had quite a bit of SPS in there. And once in a while, you'd see one of them start to bleach out or something, and then boom, a few of them would do it, or all of them would do it. And I only had frags, and every SPS I have, I've only paid $1 to $5 for, and it was just a teeny little piece. And it's grown as much as it has now. But, the wife's sick of hearing it. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? And I really don't know. I mean, there is a wide range of reasons this could be happening. It's summer. It's starting to get colder. I mean, my tanks have peaked. This tank here has peaked as high as 84 degrees. My frag tank has peaked as high as 85.9 degrees. I try to get on them all the time. I try to keep the AC on all the time. But there was, they weren't showing signs of anything negative when it did get that high. And most of the time it was at a decent temperature. In the summer it usually ranges 81 degrees, somewhere around there, even with the AC on in the house all day. House down to around 72 degrees. The tanks get up there. And it's the exact same thing that's happened for the last 2 summers that I've been running a reef tank. This is the 3rd summer, maybe even 4th. And I've never had issues. So, I scratch my head and I think and think and think. And I can come up with at least 7 or 8 different reasons why this could be happening. But, I figured I'd show you guys that probably by the next week, I won't have any SPS. I would guarantee every single one is going to bleach out. Every single one is going to die. I do have a new fish in here. You guys all remember the copper banded butterfly fish. I've heard a couple people saying, watch out for it, could be nipping at corals or so on and so forth. I don't think it would nip at the SPSs. I've never seen it nip at anything other than trying to grab copepods and stuff. So I don't want to blame it on that. There's really nothing to blame it on, other than I'm just going to go with, I guess it's time that I have something go wrong, because I've really never had anything go too wrong. A few weeks ago, my protein skimmer started, not overfilling, but it had an issue. I'm assuming it was the food I was putting in there caused it to go crazy. Like when you put plankton in and different types of food, it bubbles over. It did bubble over. It did flood part of the electrical system. And when I came down in the morning, the hood was making a clicking sound because it would not allow the lights to turn on. It kept triggering itself on, off. Do I think the tank got shocked in any way? No. But could that be a reason why the SPSs are dying? I don't know. Like I said, I've come up with a million different, not a million, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say that. At least 10 different reasons why this could be happening. I'm leaning towards all 10 put together. I've removed a lot of rock, a lot of coral, and sold it to my fish store. I've made $300-400 selling coral and rock that I've just had in here forever, and it was just too abundant and wanted to get rid of it. But do I not like the hobby anymore? No, I love the hobby. It's just going to come down to, you know, each time I lose something, I really make sure I stay away from it next time, because I don't want the same thing to happen. Am I losing anything now? If I lose every single one of my SPSs, all I'm losing is future frags. I've already sold frags from every single SPS. I've already made my money back on every coral that I've ever purchased. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much. But this right here is the update of the 65-gallon Red Sea Max 250. I'm sure I'll stay in this hobby for years to come, if not life. But I may not be messing around with SPSs anymore. Well, that's about all I really have to say. It's going to take not too long to download, or upload, sorry. Comments, questions, you know, write them down below. I'll answer them. If you got any suggestions, which I've probably gone through so many, and yeah, I know there's about 1 billion different things I could add onto this tank to make it better. You know, refugiums, reactors, and bigger protein skimmers, considering I'm still using the original one. And yeah, is my tank stocked? Oh, yeah, it's stocked. There's loads in this tank, but the protein skimmer seems to be keeping up with it fine. I'm still pulling disgusting stuff out. I'm still having to clean it all the time. I don't know. Could be anything. But I'm pretty much saying goodbye to all my SPSs and slowly watching them die before my eyes. Every day I see it. Well, I hope this never happens to any of you guys that enjoy your SPSs or love your SPSs, but I knew this time would come. It just took 2.5, 3 years before I lost a lot that I didn't want to lose. Well, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the tank, the update, and I guess I'm just going to learn to live with what happens. Peace. Thanks for watching.